Picture the golden desert sun, its rays stretching across endless sands, illuminating a land of mystery and promise. And then, the life-giving Nile, winding like a blue ribbon through the heart of the desert. This was ancient Egypt, a civilization that emerged over 5,000 years ago, thriving where few others could. More than just pyramid builders, the Egyptians were visionaries. They pioneered writing with hieroglyphs, developed advanced mathematics, practiced medicine, and established systems of government that would influence the world for centuries. Their influence radiated outward, shaping not only their own world, but also laying the groundwork for the civilizations that followed, creating a foundation for human progress. For nearly 3 millennia, powerful pharaohs ruled a remarkably stable kingdom. This stability allowed priests, scribes, and artisans to explore new ideas, innovate, and create wonders that still captivate us today. They gazed at the stars, charted the heavens, developed calendars to track the seasons, and perfected art and architecture that continue to inspire awe and admiration. Egypt's achievements became a beacon for the ancient world, lighting the way for others to follow. Imagine for a moment if Egypt had never existed, if the fertile banks of the Nile had remained home only to scattered tribes, with no great monuments or written records. Erasing Egypt would pull a crucial thread from the tapestry of human progress, unraveling much of what we now take for granted. The empires that followed, like Greece and Rome, built upon Egyptian knowledge, studying their texts, learning from their discoveries, and expanding on their achievements. Without this solid foundation, the rise of these great civilizations might have been slower, or perhaps taken a completely different path. History is a chain of cause and effect. Egypt laid many of the fundamental blocks that support our modern world, from how we measure time with sundials and water clocks, to the tools and techniques used in medicine. Their influence is quietly present in our lives even today. By imagining their absence, we come to see their enduring presence more clearly, woven into the very fabric of our civilization. Egypt's legacy is the story of human ingenuity and resilience, echoing through millennia, and reminding us of the enduring power of knowledge and creativity. One of Egypt's greatest gifts to the world was the invention of writing, hieroglyphs that beautifully captured sounds, ideas, and objects, allowing for complex communication. Scribes, who were highly respected in society, spent years mastering thousands of intricate symbols, meticulously recording history, laws, and beliefs on papyrus scrolls. This meticulous documentation allowed invaluable knowledge to be preserved and shared across generations, ensuring the continuity of Egyptian culture and wisdom. Alongside their writing, Egyptians developed practical mathematics, which was essential for calculating taxes, measuring land, and constructing monumental buildings. Their advanced decimal system, understanding of fractions, and geometry were crucial in enabling the construction of the awe-inspiring pyramids, which still stand today. Egypt also pioneered a centralized government system, with the pharaoh at the top, and a complex bureaucracy efficiently managing the kingdom's affairs. This stability ensured a steady supply of food, a fair justice system, and the fostering of innovation and creativity. The annual Nile flood was managed through organized labor and sophisticated irrigation techniques, which maximized agricultural productivity. Without the advancements in writing, mathematics, and governance, human progress would have stalled, leaving many achievements unrealized. Writing accumulates and transmits knowledge. Math unlocks the mysteries of the physical world, and stable government fosters an environment ripe for innovation. Egypt ingeniously combined all three elements, creating a model for later empires to emulate and build upon. The revolutionary idea that a single state could effectively manage vast lands and diverse peoples was born in Egypt. Their administrative system became a blueprint for centuries, influencing countless civilizations that followed. Egypt's foundational pillars of civilization set the stage for the world that followed, leaving an indelible mark on history. The Great Pyramids of Giza, icons of Egypt's architectural genius, were more than tombs. They were feats of engineering. Egyptians moved massive stones with simple tools, achieving precision that amazes us even today. Without these monuments, history's skyline would be unrecognizable. The pyramids inspired generations, showing what ambition and organization could achieve. Without them, monumental architecture might have emerged much later. Greeks and Romans, who studied Egyptian structures, might have lacked key inspiration for their own wonders. Egyptians pioneered construction techniques, levers, ramps, and solid foundations that became the backbone of engineering. Their expertise in quarrying and project management set standards for the ancient world. The absence of this knowledge would have forced others to start from scratch. The pyramids were part of vast complexes, reflecting religious beliefs and organizational skill. Egypt's legacy in architecture and engineering shaped the very idea of what humans could build. Egyptian scribes documented not just history, but also the earliest forms of science and medicine, carefully recording their observations and discoveries for future generations. Medical texts like the Edwin Smith Papyrus reveal a surprisingly rational and systematic approach to anatomy and surgery, showing that Egyptians sought logical explanations for illness and injury. Egyptian doctors treated fractures, wounds, and even performed simple surgeries centuries ahead of their time, using specialized tools and techniques that would influence later civilizations. Their blend of careful observation, practical treatment, and methodical experimentation laid the groundwork for the development of later medical traditions. The Greeks, often credited as founders of rational medicine, actually learned much from Egypt, studying Egyptian texts and building upon their discoveries. Without Egyptian advances, medical progress would have been set back by centuries, leaving later societies without crucial knowledge about the human body and disease. Egyptians were also keen astronomers, developing a solar calendar based on the rising of Sirius and the annual flooding of the Nile, which was essential for agriculture. Their 365-day calendar became the model for the one we use today, shaping how we organize time and plan our lives. Without this innovation, farming and timekeeping would have been far less accurate, making it difficult to predict the seasons and manage crops effectively. The Egyptians' methodical record-keeping created a vast library of knowledge, preserving scientific and medical insights for future generations to build upon. Without their spirit of scientific inquiry and dedication to documentation, others would have started from a much earlier point, delaying progress in countless fields. Egypt's early science and medicine were vital first steps in humanity's quest to understand the world, bridging the gap between ancient wisdom and modern knowledge, and reminding us how much we owe to these early pioneers. Without Egypt, Mesopotamia, home to the Sumerians, Akkadians, and Babylonians, would have dominated the ancient world. They developed cuneiform writing, advanced mathematics, and detailed astronomy. The Babylonians' base 60 math still shapes our timekeeping today. Their legal codes, like Hammurabi's, set early standards for justice. Without Egypt's competition, Mesopotamian ideas might have spread even further. Yet Egypt and Mesopotamia were fundamentally different. Egypt valued order and permanence. Mesopotamia faced chaos and conflict. A world shaped solely by Mesopotamia might have focused more on law and commerce, less on monumental architecture and divine kingship. The absence of Egypt would have meant less diversity of thought and innovation. The Greeks blended ideas from both, creating something new. Losing Egypt would have silenced a vital voice, making the ancient world less dynamic. Ancient Greece, the cradle of Western philosophy and art, was deeply influenced by Egypt. Greek artists and architects drew inspiration from Egyptian temples and statues. Early Greek sculpture and monumental building owe much to Egyptian techniques. Without Egypt, Greek art and architecture might have developed on a smaller, less ambitious scale. Greek thinkers like Thales and Pythagoras studied in Egypt, absorbing its mathematics and philosophy. The Egyptian concept of Maat, order and justice, echoes in Greek thought. The flow of knowledge from Egypt to Greece sparked the Greek intellectual explosion. Without Egypt, the Greek miracle might have been delayed or diminished. The entire Western tradition would rest on a shakier foundation. Egypt's innovations are woven into our daily lives, often unnoticed. Our 365-day calendar, divided into months, comes from Egypt. They pioneered glassmaking, fine linen, cosmetics, and even toothpaste. Everyday tools, locks, and keys trace back to Egyptian inventiveness. The word paper comes from papyrus, alchemy, and chemistry from Egypt's ancient name, Kemet. Their influence is in our language, our buildings, and our medicine. Without Egypt, our vocabulary and technology would be poorer. Even our entertainment and architecture draw on Egyptian themes. The loss of Egypt would mean losing a source of inspiration and practical wisdom. Their legacy enriches our world in ways both grand and subtle. Without Egypt, the pace of human progress would have slowed dramatically. Egypt set early standards in engineering, governance, and science, passing the baton to Greece, Rome, and beyond. Their mastery of construction and organization became the toolkit for later civilizations. Without it, others would have faced slow, costly trial and error. Egypt proved large, stable states were possible, shaping future governments. Without their example, the evolution from city-states to empires would have been chaotic and delayed. This ripple effect would have stretched to the Renaissance and beyond. Scientific and technological revolutions might have arrived centuries later. Civilization's march would have been far more hesitant. Imagining a world without Egypt reveals that civilization thrives on shared knowledge. Egypt's innovations spread through trade, diplomacy, and conquest, fueling progress across the Mediterranean and Near East. The Greeks and Romans borrowed, adapted, and improved on Egyptian ideas. Without Egypt, the ancient world would have been less connected and dynamic. Progress depends on openness and collaboration, not isolation. Today, global challenges require the same spirit of shared knowledge. The legacy of Egypt reminds us that our strength lies in learning from one another. By contemplating Egypt's absence, we appreciate their enduring gift. They were not just pyramid builders, but builders of civilization itself. The light from the Nile still illuminates our path, reminding us we are all part of one human story.